How's it going to Forest TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my match reaction to Nottingham Forest versus West Brom. We have just, I have just seen the game, like I mentioned in my preview, that I wasn't able to watch the game live. But just finished watching it, and if you'd offered me a 0-0 before the game, with Colback being out, Bong being at left back, I maybe would have taken it. I think, given the way the game played out, though, we probably would have. You gotta say, we probably deserved to win that, or we should have won that. A game that lacked real quality. It lacked a sort of a real quality ball into the box, or if it was a quality ball in the box, it lacked somebody on the end of it. West Brom did have some big chances, put a lot of them over the bar, had a massive, massive chance of Jordan Hugill just before the full-time whistle, where he blazed it over the bar. They weren't as good as I expected them to be, West Brom. They were quite lacklustre in terms of their finishing, like I say. They defended all right. I think we defended really well. Didn't really give them much of a chance. Pressed really well high up the pitch. They just weren't really that team that I kind of expected to come up against. I thought there'd be a team that were high pressing, sort of a team that suffocated. You didn't really give you much chances. They just attacked. But they were totally different. And to say they're third in the league, just seeing it now. With a game in hand, they are 7 points up. We are 13th. Results could put us down as far as 18th, but I don't think that'll really be the case. I'll probably expect us to be in and around this sort of position. But no, I don't know. West Brom were poor for me, and I think second half, especially after they got the red card, we were the dominant side. I don't think they really had that many chances. They had that one for Hugill. They had a couple of chances for Darnell Furlong, one in the first half, one in the second half. So we did really well. We defended superbly well. I think the fact that they didn't have many chances wasn't so much how badly they played. It was more how just incredibly well we defended. Two centre-backs were on yellow cards, Worrell and Figueiredo from early. Okay, Figueiredo was brought off to be replaced by Myton. I don't think that was anything to do with the yellow cards. I think, regardless of sort of the card situation, in that situation of the game, he would have probably been withdrawn anyway for Myton, who I think he was all right when he came off the bench. Didn't do too much of much note, but he was all right. But yeah, I mean, to say that he was yellow carded early in the first half, the way he was diving in, making blocks, it was just incredible. Bringing the ball out from the defence, not being afraid to step out, take on his man. Joe Worrell today was incredible. He was sensational, and if that doesn't put him in the, because I know he said in that interview with I think it was Robin Chipperfield, that he would be open to move to the Premiership. He wants to play in the Premier League, and fair play. Being a footballer is a short career. It's a 20-year sort of thing, usually, maybe a bit longer, 25 years. And, he's not getting any younger. He's not saying that he's old, Joe Worrell, but he wants to kind of play his prime years in the Premier League, and if he can't do that with us, then, unfortunately, he will have to move on, which is the way the world works, the way football works. So if that performance today, if prospective Premier League clubs were looking for a centre-back in January, maybe a Burnley, maybe a Brighton, maybe a Villa. I know Villa are quite interested in him. Not that they'll really need him with Konsa and Mings. Maybe a second option sort of alongside Courtney Howes if they need to go weaker or players are out, for example. But that performance today just really showed the absolute quality of him. So cool, calm, composed in possession, just so collected, and the way that he just threw himself in front of every ball put into the box, the way that he got himself in front of every shot that he could, he was just sensational. He was really, really good, and I love Joe Worrell. He's my favourite player at the club, and that's why just desire, just the ability to really just play for the badge and just put everything behind their crosses, their shots, and the way that he's able to bring the ball out from the back. I'm a sucker for a ball playing centre back. I love it when when a centre back brings it out from brings it out from the defence, just strides forward and just plays a lovely ball forward, or a ball out wide, or just progresses the play. I think he was excellent today. He was full value for that man of the match award. I think he was absolutely fantastic, and he was a huge part in the point. And I think going away to the Hawthorn Stadium, you can't really scoff too much at a 0-0. It keeps our unbeaten away streak going. 3 clean sheets in our last 3 games, which is sensational form. If we could maybe turn those draws, I'll say sensational form, brilliant to do. If we could turn those 0-0s into maybe 1-0s, then it will be sensational form. But it's really, really positive signs. Really positive signs. I think Spence getting down that right hand side, was fantastic. I think Garner today was really, really good. Someone that has come under a little bit of flack by Forest supporters. He hasn't been that player that we saw last year. But he's just, his desire today, his hunger to win the ball back and to make those challenges. There was a moment in the first half where I can't remember who was on the ball, might have been Furlong, and you just see out of nowhere Garner charge into the ball, and he just puts in an incredible block. There's question marks over Garner. He seems a bit lost, he seems a bit uninterested, but sorry about that. But today, all those accusations can be put to bed because I think he was brilliant. I think he was just so incredible. Sorry, I got a notification on my phone. It just completely took my focus off what I was saying. I think he was so important to the way we played. We needed him to do that. Colback was out. We needed that rugged, combative, defensive style of midfielder who can get on the ball and also play the passes. And today he was that. He was a complete midfielder today. He was really, really good. James Garner for me. The front three, I think also, just quickly, Yates was really good for me. I think he played a really good game. Got himself forward and had a couple of chances. And coming back from injury to be putting in challenges and playing the way he did just shows, the desire he has, the heart he has, and the way he loves this club, which is very evident in the way that he plays. Front three, I think Grabban was a little bit isolated. The chances he did have weren't, golden opportunities. Maybe that one where Worrell puts the ball in and he's lunging for it. I don't know whether you can really call that a golden opportunity. If he'd have got on the end of it, you'd be very surprised if he didn't put it in the back of the net. I think he was just a little bit too far behind it. The ball was a little bit too far ahead of him. Maybe if he drilled it across the ground or something, it could have been a little bit easier for Grabban to have a chance. Johnson, when he got on the ball, he looked dangerous. He's very direct, and what I love about Johnson, I don't know if it's just a youthful naivety, but every time he gets on the ball, his head's up, he's looking for the spaces, looking to try and get between the defenders, get the ball, through the legs or past them and onto the end of it. It's really good to see when you see sort of how we played under Houghton, where we were just so restricted in everything we could do. Seeing someone like Johnson now not being afraid to pick up the ball, run at a defender, try and put him under pressure. He did it once with Carl Bartley, and there's nothing he could do. He was just really, really good at doing that. Unfortunately, he wasn't really able to have that little bit of quality, that end product, but I think that's credit to the defensive organisation of West Brom. I think they did really well defensively. Kipri, Bartley and Clark. Maybe not so much Bartley, I don't think he was that great, but Clark and Cipri, I think, did really, really well for them at the back. Grabban, I did see him sort of drift off a lot over to that left-hand side, and Zinchenko sort of swap over with him. I don't know if that's part of the tactical plan with Cooper, whether that's something that he's looking to do, be a bit more fluid up front, interchanging positions. I don't know, but it was interesting. It was interesting. I think it didn't work badly. I think Grabban's probably best between the two wingers, sort of in the box, but maybe Cooper's seen something we haven't and wants to give that a go. But Yeah, just looking up on the screen there. I do still have it playing, and I want to listen to the interviews and stuff. You got Garner and Grabban, and I think they were the two best players on the pitch for us today. They were huge. I mean, not Grabban, sorry, Worrell did I Grabban anyone? I mean, it's Worrell and Garner I'm on about. I think Grabban, not Grabban, Worrell was just superb today. He was just so huge in everything that we tried to do. Though it just blocking everything, he was just fantastic. One player I wasn't too confident with was Bong. And by the way, I don't know why every time Bong was on the ball, a throwing or on actual possession, he was getting booed left, right, and centre by West Brom fans. I don't know if he did something at the start of the game that I missed, or if he's got previous to West Brom. I don't know. He hasn't. I don't think he's played for any of their rivals. I know he plays for Brighton. I don't know if he's played for anybody else in England, but yeah, he was just getting booed left, right, and centre, and I don't know why. If you guys know, let me know. I've got no idea, but it was a bit bizarre. I don't think he was bad, but there was a few times where I was a bit like, ooh, there's one where he did a diving header back to Samba, and it was a bit like, why is he doing that? Or some of the times he was in possession, I was a bit like, ooh. Or there was one opportunity, I think Furlong got it, and that he just tried to make the header, but he just completely. But, I think you look at it on face value, a point away at the Hawthorns, you can't go wrong. I think you got to be happy with that and move on to the next game. So, yeah. I would have taken the 0-0 before the game kicked off, and I'll take it now. So if you did enjoy, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new around here and you haven't already, and come on, you Reds.